Hello everyone, welcome to Greenland Garden Center. My name is Aaron. Today we're talking seeding and we're talking about our new seeding kit. So this has everything you need to start your seeds indoors successfully. Comes with your growing tray. That comes with the dome, comes with the insert. We also include a bag of seed starting soil, organic seed starting soil. We'll talk about that later. And you also get labels. This is my first tip of the day. If you don't label your seedlings, you're not going to know what they are. If you can tell the difference between a tomato at the 4-week stage, then you should be working here because we can't even figure it out. So label all your seedlings, that's the first tip. Along with that, you do get a selection of seeds. So we have peppers, herbs, cut flowers, and tomatoes that you can choose from. So why do we like this seeding tray? This is your standard 72 cell seeding tray. I'm gonna open this up here and show you. The beautiful thing about this 72 cell insert is it's all uniform, all the same size. That means things will be coming up near the same time. They're all gonna get the same amount of moisture. They're all going to have the same conditions. If you're growing in egg cartons, little yogurt containers, that's fine, but you may run into problems where the moisture is too much in one, not enough in another. You may get things growing at different rates. This is just a really easy way to start, especially if you haven't done it before. So we designed this kit to make it easy for beginners. This is the perfect kit to get started with. Like I said, contains the seeding soil that you want to use, the tray, the dome, the insert, as well as the selection of seeds that we picked. Our experts picked this. They've grown these seeds at home, we've tried them, we like them, so that's what we picked for you. There are a couple tools you can use to be very successful with starting your seeds this year. First one would be light. Light is almost mandatory. Unless you have a sunroom, a south window, big huge windows, a west facing window, something where you're getting, I would say 8 to 10 hours of direct sunlight on that location, use a grow light. I think you'll have a lot better success with it. I've been growing under grow lights for probably 15 years now, and I start seeds every year and they always do well. The easiest way to start with a grow light is a simple kit like this. Comes with the stand, this is 2 feet wide, comes with your grow light, comes with this nice adjustable hanger so you can adjust it up and down. As your seedlings grow, you can raise it up. At the start, you can lower it down. Even has a timer on it. You can pick 12 or 16 hours. We do recommend leaving the light on for about 16 hours a day. Some people will say, well, you know, I started really late. I'm just gonna leave them on 24 hours. I'm gonna get fast seedlings. They're gonna come up really good, really quick, really big. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Plants need to sleep just like we need to sleep. You leave the light on for 24 hours, unfortunately, you're not doing much. Very, very energy efficient. Does not cost a lot to run, but helps your seedlings immensely. So how far do you put the light from the seedlings? You want to be about 4 to 6 inches away from the seedlings. Obviously, we don't have anything growing here. If we pretend we had little plants growing here, you want to be about 4 to 6 inches away. And people go, well, how do I know that's right? Am I going to hurt the plants? Am I too close, too far? The best thing is actually take your hand, put it just above that first layer of leaves, kind of like this. If the back of your hand is really warm, raise that light up. I will say the number one thing people do is have that light too high. They'll do something like this and they'll say, hey, look at that, I'm done. I can just put my seedlings under here and they'll grow. Unfortunately, that's not doing much at all. They really need to be within that 4 to 6 inches to get nice, strong seedlings. If I was gonna do one thing to make sure I had success in growing those seeds, it would be doing a grow light. What happens if you don't have a light? Let's say you don't wanna invest in a light system, you don't have a good window. What happens if you grow without light? You're gonna get really tall, leggy seedlings. And that, unfortunately, is not fixable. If your seedlings are 8 inches tall and only have a few leaves and they're flopping over, you can't really fix that. Tomatoes are kind of the one exception. You can bury them deep. But any other seedling that you're growing, you want to be nice, short, and stocky. So that's where a light comes in. So the next tool that you can use to have success when seeding is a heat mat. Not 100% necessary, but can be very, very helpful. I'm going to open this up and show you. Heat mat is simply a 10 by 20 mat. You plug it into the wall, you leave it going 24 hours. So you're actually gonna just put this right under your tray. You don't have to put it in the tray. It doesn't have to be touching the pots. What this is gonna do, it's gonna raise this soil temperature about 10 degrees above room temperature. That's perfect for seedlings because a lot of seedlings, peppers, tomatoes, most of your herbs want that extra heat. When you use a heat mat, you're gonna find that things germinate way faster. Your tomato that maybe took 7 days before now takes 3 days. The other benefit of the heat mat is instead of getting maybe 60 to 75% of your seeds coming up, when you use a heat mat, you'll get 95%, maybe even 100% of your seedlings coming up. If you're gonna grow certain flowers, if you're gonna go perennials, you don't need that. Any cool weather crops you don't need. But if you're gonna grow something like peppers, tomatoes, definitely go for it. It'll help a lot with getting those seeds up faster and getting more of them coming up. How long do you leave it on? Like I said, plug it in, leave it running 24 hours a day. Once those seedlings are up, so once you see that sprouting happening, once about 75, 80% is up, unplug that heat mat, get rid of it. You're not going to use it again for the rest of the season. People go, well, if peppers love heat so much, why don't I just leave it going? Let it keep going on there and get that soil nice and warm. Unfortunately, what happens when you grow things really warm, they tend to stretch and get leggy again, which we don't want. We want nice compact seedlings. So get rid of that heat mat. Maybe put it on another tray of seeds that you're starting, but don't use it once your seeds are up. Filling the tray, very simple step to do, but we'll go through it for those beginners that maybe haven't done it before. We like to use a seed starting mix specifically. This one is an organic one, works very well. Why do we pick a seed starting mix? A, very fine particle. If you're gonna grow these special flower seeds or perennial seeds or exotic seeds, or maybe you're just growing your standard herb seeds, tomatoes, peppers, they need really good contact with the soil. That's how the seed coat actually gets the moisture. It has contact with the soil, absorbs the moisture from the soil into the seed coat, breaks it down, allows that seed to sprout. If you use the wrong type of media, potting mix, with the wrong type of seed, there'll be too many spaces. That seed won't get that contact with the soil and it won't come up. So when in doubt, use a seedling potting mix. That will be very helpful. The other reason we use a potting mix instead of a soil is because it's clean. There's no fungus, there's no bugs, there's no bacteria or disease. We don't want to use soil from the garden. We don't want to use organic compost. We don't want to use all these heavy, rich things. We want to keep it clean, light, airy, and fluffy. And I'm going to show you that in one sec here. So how to fill the tray, simple, get your tray ready. I have the dome underneath, I have the tray underneath. I have my insert inside. I'm gonna open the bag here. That's what the potting mix looks like inside. What we're gonna do, simply just kind of pour it over. Maybe take this to the sink, the kitchen counter, the kitchen table, somewhere you can make a little bit of a mess, especially if you have kids helping you. That will turn this into a fun project for sure. All you're doing is spreading it out. Your goal is just to fill every cell completely with soil. You don't wanna pack it down. I'm not pushing it down very heavy. I'm just lightly kind of working it to the edges. As you see, a little bit of a mess happening. That's why we're taking it to the kitchen, to the sink, somewhere we can make that little bit of a mess. Thankfully, we're in a greenhouse. I can just throw it on the ground. I'll probably sweep that up later. So there we go. We just kind of flatten it out on the tray. You can tap it down a little bit to settle it in, and that's perfect. So that's full, ready to go. You see the mix itself is very light and fluffy. There's some perlite in there. What that perlite's gonna do is allow some drainage to happen, allow some air to be by those roots. But overall, very clean, light mix. That's perfect for what you want for seedlings. So we don't wanna pack the soil down when we're doing this because we're gonna grow plants that are young, tender, and have very small roots. If we pack it down, if I go and just push this down, it's gonna have a tough time to get those roots through that packed media. We wanna keep it loose, light, and fluffy. That way those roots can easily grow through there. Next thing you want to do is pre-moisten your potting mix. You don't want to plant into dry potting mix. The reason for that is the seeds, once you do wet this mix, will move all over the place. The other part is it's very hard to plant the seeds. You can't really make holes in the soil very well. You can't cover them very well when it's dry. The seedling mix just kind of tends to move around a lot. So you want to pre-moisten it. The other reason you want to pre-moisten it is they tend to settle once you moisten it, so that gives you an opportunity. Maybe add a little bit more soil if you need to. A couple of things I'll give you tips here. Don't moisten from the top. We're going to show you what not to do. Don't do this at any point in your seedling kind of growing career. Don't do this. If you see it's just making a big mess, I'll even try to be careful because it looks like I'm not trying to be careful. Even when I'm trying to be careful, what happens is it all pools around. The seedling mix bubbles up. It's not a good thing. The seeds are going to be either at the top of the soil or they're going to be buried way too deep in the soil. Don't water from the top at all. Now, you can break that rule once the seedlings are up, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 inches, but when they're young, when you're potting them up, don't water from the top. Instead, what you can do, I'm going to do this without hopefully making a mess, has a bunch of holes on the bottom. As you can see, even where I watered, it's already leaking out of those holes. Instead of watering from the top, what you want to do, pick up a corner, take your watering can, your measuring cup, whatever you have, fill in a little bit of water there. Maybe fill in 1/2 inch on the bottom of this tray. Give it 10-15 minutes, allow it to soak up. You know you've done it right when it turns from this light kind of tan color to this beautiful dark color. That's when you know you've done it right. As you can see, everything is nice and moist. I don't have to water this any further. All the water underneath has been fully absorbed. There's nothing under there. That's perfect. That's what we want. We have our tray. We have our insert. It's filled with media. We've moistened that soil. We're ready to plant, what everybody's been waiting for. So in this case, we're going to plant tomatoes. I have early girl seeds here. This is one of the seeds that we've chosen for our tomato pack. Great tomato that everybody loves here. Simple, easy, comes up really fast, is ready really early, hence early girl. It's great tomato. How you're going to do it? Very, very simply. take a pencil if you have one, a pen, a chopstick, a skewer, whatever you want to do. I found the easiest way to do this is just make 2 little holes in each cell. So we have 72 cells here. You go, well, why are we making 2 holes in each cell? You get a ton of tomato seeds in these packages. So you want to put multiple seeds per cell. The beautiful thing about that is, let's say you put just 1 seed in each cell and maybe 2 or 3 don't come up. You don't want to have that empty cell. You'd rather have something growing in that cell. That's why we put 2 seeds per cell. Ensures that something is growing in each one of these 72 cells. So how to plant, very simple. I'll show you. Make that hole, like I said, in your pre-moistened media. Open your package. I use the package itself to plant the seeds. In this case, it's 2 packages. Sometimes they'll seal it up twice, no problem at all. Get them all to one corner. Take the package itself, make a little crease on the flat end just like that, and then all you're doing is just tapping those seeds, 1 in each cell, just like that. Once that is done, take again your pencil, your chopstick, whatever, just lightly work that seed into the hole that you created. Sometimes they won't go exactly where you want them. Lightly cover it. And the last step you want to do is take your finger and don't push it down. Again, we want nice, light, loose soil. We don't want heavy soil. So you're just lightly tapping that seed down. That ensures that that seed is getting optimal contact with that potting media, and that ensures that it gets the moisture it needs to actually sprout. Some common questions that we get: how deep do you plant the seeds? On the back of every seed package, it will tell you how deep to plant it. In the case of the ones that we're growing here, basils, tomatoes, peppers, herbs, don't plant them too deep. That's my biggest tip I'll give you. Make that little hole like I showed you. As long as the seed is completely covered with the potting mix, you're good. Don't get too concerned about if it's 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. Make a little hole, barely cover it, and you're fine. Depth is not as critical as people think it is, as long as the seed is completely covered. Let's say you're doing a big tray like this and you don't want to go through and do each step. There's another thing you can do. You can actually take your tomato seeds, you sprinkle them across. Get 1 or 2 per cell. This is what we would do in the greenhouse because it's fast and easy and it works really well. So 1 or 2 per cell, you're just sprinkling them across. And then what you're going to do is take a handful of that seed starting mix and just lightly dust it across those cells. Just make sure that you're not seeing any seeds showing at all. You may have to use your finger, and then again, just tap it down. So if you're going to be growing, hundreds of tomato plants or flats and flats, that's the way to do it. If it's your first time, you're a beginner, you're not very comfortable with that technique, make the little hole, put a couple seeds in, cover that hole, and you're good to go. What's the next steps? You have your seeds planted, your tray is moistened. People go, do I need to water this now? What do I need to do? No. As long as your soil is completely moist and is dark brown on top, you don't have to give it any more water. The next thing you're going to do is take your dome, comes with the kit. Place it on top of that tray. And that's all you have to do. Very simple. What you're going to notice over the next day or 2, even the next few hours, is that dome's going to fill up with condensation. You may not be able to see through that dome. That's perfectly fine. That's what you want. Don't take the dome off. Don't be tempted to water. Don't be tempted to peek at what's going on. Just leave that dome on until you start to see green showing. Ideally, you want to put this, in the case of tomatoes, peppers, herbs, put this on a heat mat. Allow that heat to soak in there and cause those seeds to germinate faster. If you don't have that, put it somewhere warm in the house, in the kitchen, by a window, somewhere really warm. That will cause those seedlings to come up faster. Again, don't water it until you see signs of growth. Now, let's say 7 days later, you're seeing signs of growth. You're seeing sprouts come up. Leave the dome on until about, I'd say 60 to 75% of those cells have something growing in them. Once they do have something growing in them, there's 2 kind of schools of thought. One school of thought is you want to prop that dome up with like a pencil or a few pens. Just slowly let that humidity change, right? Just let the drier air come in and kind of get rid of some of that humidity. The other thing people like to do is just, myself, the rule breaker, I just take it off completely. Once about 60 to 75% are up, I just take that dome off completely. So the question will be, well, if this dome is so great, why don't I just leave it on there, right? I can just leave it on, let those tomatoes grow for a few weeks with that dome on there. Not a good idea. All that humidity that we had in that dome, that we trapped in there, is great for the seeds. We want that seed coat to break down, the moisture to be absorbed. We want the plants to come out of those seeds. Once there are leaves on the top of the soil here, we don't want that humidity. That causes fungus issues. It can cause diseases like damping off. So we want to dry that area out. That's why we take the dome off. Couple tips and tricks I'll give you here before you finish up with the project. Make sure you label your seedlings. We planted, in this case, a couple different types of tomatoes. We planted some peppers, we planted some herbs, we planted some flowers. I can tell the difference between a tomato and a pepper and a pepper and a flower, but if you're a new gardener, maybe you can't. Labeling is the most important. You don't have to label each individual cell. If you kind of plant in nice, neat rows, you can write on the label, stick it inside here. I'll show you how that works. At the very basic, put tomato, early girl, and that gives you an idea of what you have. Simply stick it in the side here, put your dome back on, and that way you'll know each row is labeled. Very, very simple. The other tip I'll give you is once you seed these, you do want to kind of get it near light pretty quick. A lot of people go through the mistake of seeding this. They'll have it sprout, they'll forget about it for 2, 3, 4 days, and it has no light. What happens is those seedlings get off to a bad start. They start to stretch immediately when they grow. We don't want that. So when in doubt, if you're going to seed this and maybe you won't remember to look at it for a few days, put it under your grow light, put it in your window right away. That way, as soon as these little guys pop up, they're going to get the light they need instead of growing in darkness somewhere. That's a big tip that will help you a lot. That's the basics of starting your seeds. Happy seeding, everyone. We're going to see you in a few weeks. Once these start to grow, we'll tell you what the next step is.